Hello everyone. We are back and we are continuing Girl Boss's journey as a baby vampire. Night 7. Alright, so it's almost daytime, so we gotta rest now, and tomorrow night we will see some of these people or something else will happen. Okay, I guess, yeah, it's just tomorrow night now. Okay, so we can pick somebody. Okay, so we can go back to see Tamika about, yeah, that crazy thing she just released. Or we could go back to the detective guy. Or wait, more people are coming up. Okay, we have this dude causing problems for Sophie. So perhaps, yeah, you know what? We should see this guy. If he's causing problems for us, we should probably deal with that. These other weirdos. Okay, yeah, let's deal with this. The other stuff can wait. The streetlights filter into the apartment in a stark white glow, as if someone were shooting a movie outside. The art pieces display a tasteful expense entirely fitting the image you have of Sophie. It feels as if 1,000 sins have been committed on these premises, most of them under her benevolent hospitality. Sophie comes to greet you as you enter the living room, shaking her head. You understand that people judge me based on how you dress, don't you? Sophie looks at your clothes as if resigned to your sartorial limitations. I can take care of myself. I've tried to dress inconspicuously. I've had other things to worry about. Yeah, I've tried to dress inconspicuously because of the masquerade. That's very sensible of you. I suppose I should commend you for that. Sophie walks to the window and looks out, the streetlights playing on her features. She reminds you of a queen contemplating the unfortunate limitations of her subjects. You'd think that as a vampire, at least we wouldn't have to worry about the vultures of the press. Unfortunately, when you have power and ability, there are always parasites trying to feed on you. Is there a reporter after you? I used to have a journalist friend. I'll go beat that bastard up. Yeah, I'll go beat that guy up. Oh, I appreciate the verb. Still, as a kindred, you have to do better than dumb and brutish. Sophie steps away from the window and settles down on a sofa, a wine glass with red liquid in it, blood treated as not to spoil. You've become good at noticing the scent, even from a distance. She doesn't offer you any as you cautiously sit down across from her. This awful man has been stalking my apartment with a camera. He's gone through my trash, talked to the neighbors. Please be a dear and explain to him that there's nothing for him here. Is this about the masquerade? Yeah, I'm not gonna tell her I'm not an errand boy because, like, I obviously am, because that's how this works. Is this about the masquerade? That's a big deal for us, right? Indeed, you're learning. Isn't this dangerous? Isn't this unavoidable? This must happen often. Yeah, isn't this unavoidable? Yeah, isn't this unavoidable when we fake mortal lives? Do you really think you can tell me how to live? Okay, wrong response. Do I get something out of this? Do you know anything about the reporter? Am I in danger? Yeah, do you know anything about the reporter? Man, woman, young, old, anything like that? All gossip reporters look the same to me. Oh, okay, lady. Time for you to go. I have business to attend to. You leave the apartment as Sophie disappears into another room. You don't have a clear idea of the game she plays with the city's mortal and immortal power structures, but she always seems to be making a move. Outside on the street, there's a slight warm drizzle, the kind that gets under your clothes and makes you want to take a shower when you get back to your own haven. No reporters immediately jump out to you. I think investigating the area might make more sense than just hanging around and noticing some weirdos looking at me. Yes, I'm gonna walk around. You start with the basics of investigative work. You ask the proprietor of the bodega around the corner, the homeless man sleeping in a nearby doorway, and the doorman of another building whether they've seen anyone strange. Detective work produces results. You get the description of a man who sounds like a reporter. Older, overweight, pasty, and in bad physical condition. Professional camera. Once you know what you're looking for, it's not difficult. You spot a man who matches the description and follow him. You enter an alley, a dark, dingy space between two tall buildings. Once upon a time, a place like this might have worried you, made you think of muggings and violence. Now, it's clear that the most dangerous thing here is you. The man you are following seems to realize this too. He holds his camera in front of him like a shield, its heavy objective resting on his paunch. With a start, you recognize him. You remember the face, the shaded sunglasses from a picture next to a byline and some trashy paper someone thrust in your face at a company party. His name is Frank Daughtry, and he's taken pictures of one of your investors feeling up a sex worker at a nightclub. You'd been there too, and the funny thing was, what Daughtry showed in the photo was just the tip of the iceberg. After all, work hard and play hard was the order of the day. Hey, don't go around scaring people like that. Yeah, I recognize you. I'm a huge fan. Welcome to Knuckletown. Yeah, I'm a huge fan. Wow, you're Frank Daughtry. Doherty? I don't know how to say this name. I'm a huge fan. Love your work. Thank you. It's nice to have one's work appreciated. So, a reporter, huh? What are you reporting on? A lot of scoops here in this dark alley. Yeah, what are you reporting on? I'm not sure you can help me. Well, perhaps you can. Do you live here? I'm working on a story about a local resident. Her name is Sophie Langley. Everybody knows her in high society circles. She's a redhead, pretty as a picture, and there were a lot of pictures of her through the years. That's the thing, in fact. Look at this. Frank pulls out his phone and starts showing you pictures. Some have been downloaded from the news sites, while others are photos from the society pages of newspapers from past decades. Man, Sophie, you gotta be a little more inconspicuous. But I know you want to live your lifestyle. I'll show Sophie. She has different clothes, hairstyles, makeup, names, but the face remains the same. That's strange, so what do you think is going on? They're all hot. Other than that, I'm not sure. So you're a stalker of some sort? Yeah, yeah, they're hot. They're all hot. Other than that, I'm not sure. Come on, look at the face. It's always the same. Well, I mean, there's old paintings of Keanu Reeves and stuff. This must be important. You must have a theory about what's happening, so why does that matter? Yeah, why does that matter? Maybe it doesn't, but people are always interested in staying young. 3 words: extreme plastic surgery. All the celebrities do it. Only her doctor is better than the rest. You look critically at the photos on Frank's phone. No doctor is that good? Hook me up with this miracle doctor? You're looking for a doctor in an alley? Yep. You're thinking the world's best plastic surgeon is working out of this alley. Okay, fine. I don't know what this is about. So how would you explain it? Yeah, it's a hoax. Have you considered the possibility that those pictures are a hoax? Sure, anything can be a hoax, but I dug up those old papers from the archives myself. I gotta have something useful. Threaten him with legal action, intimidate with violence, dominate, leave, and destroy your research. Let's threaten him with legal action. It's because I know that type of thing is scary to these people. Frank, I'm trying to help you. I'm trying to give you something you can work with. Take it. Frank is clearly taken aback by the change in your tone, but he's a gossip reporter. He's used to people trying to push him. Come on. Look, I'm a reporter. You can bluster, but you can't hide the truth. Can you afford a lawsuit? I'll tell you one more thing about Sophie. She's good at suing people. Do you think you can afford a lawsuit? This job is all I have. Don't do this to me. Desist, then I'll leave you alone. This is just business. We can destroy you. Yeah, desist, then I'll leave you alone. It's your choice. I'm not your enemy. Desist, and there won't be any trouble. Frank is taken aback at the brutality of your tone. He has been intimidated many times before, but he also knows that sometimes the threats are real. This time, he senses you're not kidding. He's just an aging man trying to salvage a career. You win. I hope you and Sophie Langley have a happy life. Deflated and hunched over, Frank drudges away from the alley. You stare at his receding figure. It's hard not to feel sorry for him. In Sophie Langley, he took on something way too powerful for a small fish like himself. Oh, okay, that was surprisingly fast. Although maybe this dude's gonna be back because before it said part 1. Yeah, that invitation I have is a little bit overdue. Although there was no feeding opportunity in this story, and there's usually feeding opportunities when I see these guys. So yeah, let's see. Yeah, let's continue the Tamika one because I think we're further into her story. Anyway, see how she's doing? The status of that thing. Immediately after you enter the park, you can tell that something is wrong. An odd silence hangs in the air, like the silence from a choking victim after the fight leaves them. It doesn't take you long to find Tamika. You see her in the distance, leaning against a tree. As you make your way towards her, she puts her finger to her lips. Only then do you notice the blood dripping from her side. Oh no! You pick her up, letting her lean on you. She looks at you, her eyes wide with fear and rage. They're here, the Inquisition. They found us. Why is the FBI... Okay, these dudes. Raoul, he drew them away, saved my ass. He's still out there. We need to go. We need to help him. You sure you're up to it? You're in no shape to fight? Let's get the hell out of here. Yeah, girl, you have injuries. You're bleeding out. You're in no shape to mount a rescue. Oh, come on! What do you mean, screw me? A jolt of pain makes her almost bend in half. I'm going. You're barely standing. I won't let you get yourself killed. I'm going. You want to stop me? Might as well kill me now. Through sheer force of will, she manages to straighten herself up. Let's fucking do this. You head deeper into the park. Soon you stumble upon a set of innocuous barriers, service vehicles, black and yellow caution tape, men in work suits that keep the civilians out of a certain area. It's not at all difficult for a creature of the night to avoid these. You'd almost think that their presence here is accidental, but once you spot a black vans deeper in, you get a foreboding feeling. Tamika grabs your shoulder and squeezes hard. Hold up. There. You have to squint to see it. 2 SI scouts have taken tactical positions between the trees. There's no way in hell you'd have noticed them or hidden time if Tamika hadn't alerted you. Body armor, camo, night vision goggles, rifles, semi-auto shotguns, some equipment you can't even name. These guys mean business. There's no time. She's getting ready just to pounce on them. Consequences be damned. You need to think and fast. Take one out, leave the other to Tamika. Draw their attention. I'm going to draw their attention away. Yelling at the top of your lungs, you rush at the men, forcing both of them to focus their fire on you. The first one falls before he's able to pull the trigger. The second one takes aim. Suddenly you realize you might have bitten off more than you can chew. I guess I made the wrong choice. Reflectively, you squint, waiting for the bullets to tear through your flesh. To your surprise, no shots are fired. You open your eyes and see Tamika standing over your would-be assailant. She flicks her wrist, sprinkling the grass under her feet with the man's blood. Don't steal my kills. I think you need to feed. I don't know if you are hungry and injured and you're a little hangry right now. We gotta get you some food. You should eat these guys. All things considered, she seems to be doing all right. You keep on moving. Tamika gestures at the nearest patch of trees. Stick to the shadows. Take them, one at a time. Sound advice, you take it to heart as you move on towards Tamika's haven. It doesn't take long for you to run across more of them. 3 operatives in full riot gear are running down a park alley, sweeping the area with barrel-mounted flashlights. Keeping very still and very quiet, you wait for them to approach. Tamika watches you from the bushes nearby, clearly waiting to follow your lead. Try to take 2 of them out or leave 2 of them to Tamika. Okay, she literally said take them out one at a time. But she's still kind of injured. She also told me not to steal her kill, so have at it. Careful to not overplay your hand, you grab the first hunter as he's walking past and pull him into the bushes. Quietly, taking your time, you put pressure on his neck. A grisly snap lets you know that the deed is done. Jumping right back into action, you see that Tamika has already taken care of one of the remaining two. The other one, however, has already spotted her. It's not looking good. I do have to check one thing. Okay, never mind. We're good. Okay. You run at him full speed. Just as he's about to open fire, you slam the gun out of his hand. A quick follow-up turns him into a blood sprinkler. Why are you guys not eating? Okay, you give Tamika an impish smile. She actually looks impressed. Keep it up. No time to savor your victory. A savage yell rings out from across the tree line. You know that voice. Raoul! Tamika throws herself towards where it came from. It's almost unbelievable how fast she moves considering the state she's in. You're barely able to keep up. Mere seconds later, you find yourselves under the cover of a rose bush, giving you a clear view of a nearby clearing. Off in the distance, you spot a group of gunmen converging. Slowly but surely, the circle of hunters closes in on a lone figure struggling on the ground. The figure lets out a pained roar. Looking closely, you realize it's Raoul. No! Caught in the same steel net you saw used against the scarred one, he struggles frantically, trying to break free. With each passing seconds, step by step, the operative close in around him. Driven by instinct, Tamika jerks forward to save her brother. She stops herself at the last moment, as if reminded of your presence. Okay, how do we do this? Fast and fierce, we don't. It's suicide. They're taking him alive, we'll find him. Yeah, they're taking him alive, we'll find him, we'll get him out, but right now we don't stand a chance. No, too late, the scarred one. She chokes up, swallowing the pain. You saw what they did. Okay, yeah, fine, let's do this. Let me take the lead, don't take any chances. She nods, right, as if she'd listen. You move in like a two-person SWAT team, staying low to the ground before you finally make your first move. The first two hunters meet their death. Unfortunately, it's enough for the others to notice you're present, so much for the element of surprise. As two men turn towards you with their fingers ready on the trigger, another two approach you, stabbing at the air with their cattle prods. Okay, attack the gunmen or attack the close combat hunters. What's worse for vampires, guns or cattle prods? I feel like they can deal with bullets more than cattle prods, so I'll attack the guys up close. Going for the low-hanging fruit, you engage with the cattle prod-wielding hunters. With some effort, you manage to avoid getting shocked, and within seconds, both of your opponents lie dead on the grass. Meanwhile, Tamika does her share as she swiftly avoids the gunfire and moves in for the kill. 4 bodies at the ground, 2 vampires are still standing. You both run towards the last remaining foe. Driven by sheer desperation, the sole surviving soldier stands over Raoul and aims his semi-automatic shotgun at his head. Tamika growls. You gesture at her to stand down. There's no room for mistakes here. Let him go and we let you live. That's gonna cause problems later. Give up, you don't stand a chance. Yeah, no, yeah, Tamika. Let's just kill this guy. A faint whisper escapes your lips and it makes its way into Tamika's ear. On my mark, be ready. With shaking hands, the gunman looks to you, then Tamika, as if warning you not to come any closer. It's mostly for show. He's fucked and he knows it. You bide your time, waiting for the right moment to signal to Tamika. Finally, you see an opening, a split second of hesitation. Before you can make your move, Raoul springs up, grabbing the man's gun. As they struggle, you and Tamika lunge towards the gunman. A shot rings out. Raoul's body collapses under the weight of the steel net, his head a gaping hole. No! Wait, is Raoul okay, or is the other guy dead? The operative looks at you, startled and confused, his eyes widen, seeing Tamika fly towards him, death incarnate. The man's scream echo across the park. She doesn't stop, not when his intestines are spread on the grass, not when his eyes turn into bloody holes, not when his face turns to mush. Oh, I guess Raoul is gone. That's kind of sad. Only when the screaming stops, only when it's certain he has met his cruel end, only then does she stop. You watch in silence as she walks over to what's left of her brother. Falling to her knees, Tamika lets out a yell unlike any you've ever heard. It's as if she's been possessed by some wailing spirit, a banshee screaming out into the sky. Her scream echoes across the clearing until finally it all goes quiet, with tears streaming down her face. She looks up at you. It's my fault. I put us in their sights. If it wasn't for me, he'd still. Clenching her fist, she pounds the ground in frustration. Fuck. It was his choice. What's done is done. Deal with it. Yeah, no, we need to get out of here. This isn't over yet. More will be coming. She gets up, a violent shiver runs through her entire body as if she is literally trying to shrug off her despair. When she looks at you again, she seems far more clear-headed. Right, let's get out of here. Hastily yet carefully, you make your way out of the park. You don't stop until you reach a nearby alleyway. There, in the relative safety of the surrounding darkness, you take a moment to rest. Leaning against the wall, Tamika presses her hand onto her wound. Fighting off the pain, she looks up at you. Let's split up. Less attention. Hunters, spotters on the rooftops. You need help? When will I hear from you? What if they catch you? Yeah, I guess when will I hear from you? I'm gonna assume she's gonna be okay. Okay, when will I hear from you? Soon. Just need to catch my breath. Knowing when it's time to fold, you nod and head towards the far end of the alley. After several steps, you look back to see how Tamika's doing. You smile, noticing her absence. Having managed past a couple of blocks without incident, you thank your lucky stars and bend into the nightly New York crowd. Okay, nightly New York crowd outside Prospect Park. And, like, how late at night it is. I wish we had, like, a time counter for, like, when these things are happening. Because, like, if you tell me there's a crowd at, like, 9 p.m., okay, maybe something going on. I buy it. If you tell me that there's, like, a crowd at, like, midnight, at 2 a.m., okay, did a concert just get out? Like, what's going on? Or there's not always crowds everywhere in the city. Okay, hopefully Tamika's made it as well. Okay, that was that night. We are going to rest, and then we are going to continue. Okay, it's now tomorrow night. Oh, hey, Kadir's coming back. Kadir Al-Asmai? No, let me say his name correctly. Kadir Al-Asmai, the sheriff of New York City, is knocking at the door to your haven. The sight comes as more than a little shocking. If he had business with you, you'd either expect to see him already inside or never see him coming at all. Yet there he is on the other side of the peephole, patiently and politely waiting for you to let him in. You carefully unlock the door and face him in silence. Evening, may I come in? You simply stare at him. Your lack of an answer doesn't faze him, and your lack of resistance as he starts walking inside has obviously been interpreted as permission. Oh, I guess they only need permissions from humans to enter. Do those rules still apply here? We'll find out. Maybe. Once inside, he starts looking around as you cautiously stay by the door. Haven't really had time to make this place your own yet, have you? It feels like Langley's apartment through and through. A secluded study where nobody studies anything. Look at the books on this shelf, obviously meant to impress guests, not to be read. They reveal nothing about their owner, aside from the aching desire to be taken seriously as an intellectual. He picks one of them up and smirks before putting it away. The Phenomenology of Spirit, next to all of this garbage poetry. We can make a bet. If she's read more than 20 pages, I owe you $50 and a gallon of blood. Okay. The kind of place that self-professed hermits entomb themselves in to suffer. Considering how much you have to run around these nights, you probably only use it to shelter from the sun and rest, right? Even though he's obviously making an effort to come off as non-threatening, it's impossible to forget the first impression he made. As a Mets fan? You still see him as a fierce predator, trying hard not to expose his true colors. You sense a familiar fight or flight response as you struggle to find a diplomatic answer to his last question. If Kadir is bothered by your silence, he doesn't let it show. He keeps walking around, toying with whatever catches his eye. Eventually, he speaks up again. Watch any baseball lately? If I had to guess, you strike me as a Red Sox fan. Okay, so is this girl boss, is she a transplant? Did she grow up in New York? 'Cause, like, you know... I mean, transplants from the Midwest, I know, like, in the Midwest, football's a bigger thing than baseball. So I'm not really sure if they're baseball fans in the Midwest. I know that's like an East Coast, Northeast Coast thing and a bit of a California thing. But I mean, very, very rude to call somebody a Red Sox fan. Although I know they exist. Like, some of them do it just to hate the Yankees. It's kind of weird. Now he's inviting you to talk in a more direct manner. You attempt to overcome your physical reaction to him and reply as casually as you can. They're all ... Why can't I just reply, let's go Mets? I'll pick the middle. No, I'll pick, yeah, the middle one. Your mind keeps going back to that night when everything was changed forever. Waking up in hell with a body next to you, spending a night in that underground sweatbox, unsure of what will happen next, that endless car ride, 3 strikes, a bloodthirsty crowd, that blade, a rebirth, a baptism by fire, a frightening executor who made sure the flames scarred your spirit. ... As you look into his face, you realize he's read the emotions from yours. Not in the mood to exchange pleasantries. There's no animosity in his voice, he's just stating a fact. Let me get straight to the point, then. He momentarily stops caring about his surroundings, turning all of his attention to you, and demanding the entirety of your attention in return. You see, there's something I've realized over the years, in large part. I may have been hired just to look menacing with a sword, but my job is all about seeing through bonds and relationships. The Camarilla, or is it Camarilla or Camarilla? I'm just going to keep calling it Camarilla, would be safe as long as its members adhered to certain social contracts, making their dealings and affinities plain for everyone to see, but that obviously remains a pipe dream. This is a community born of conspirators, overly ambitious gangsters, and politicians, monsters in denial, all sorts of tragically broken individuals. They are driven by desires that make them incompatible with the Masquerade, incompatible with prolonged survival of the Camarilla, incompatible with the methods I use to operate. And so I am doomed to be like a cop, constantly insulted behind my back, maybe for good reason, but immediately called for help whenever someone loses their tableware. Or, like an Agatha Christie protagonist, outwardly assisted by everyone but constantly lied to about everyone's past and motivations, even if my failure to solve the mystery might be the end of us all. Yeah, I kind of went with the name Agatha, because I do enjoy... I only read one Agatha Christie, but I like her. It also sounds like a witch name. I don't know, it's a good name. Yes, it's a very good name. He tries to sound like he's peacefully resigned to his fate, but it's easy to detect a tinge of regret in his voice, a voice belonging to someone who once had bigger ambitions than this. What broke him? You see, for this detective, the why done it is far more important than the who done it or the how done it. Are you a fellow Umineko enjoyer? Are you a fellow Umineko enjoyer? Are you? I'm wondering. Let's see if there's any references in here. I am a big Umineko enjoyer. If people start watching my streams, maybe I will do an Umineko reread. I would not be going in blind, but yeah, maybe I would do that. So let me know in comments, please, if you want me to read Umineko. Okay. Again, okay. When you understand all the players and their mutual obligations, you easily understand every crime. But of course, the kindred know it, so they devise ways to make my job much harder, just like the conspiracies between 2 unrelated actors that depend on scratching each other's backs for mutual security. Or they enforce a blood bond to make someone unexpected their thrall, a boss serving their employee, a rebel serving a tyrant, just because one is regularly being forced to drink another's blood. Okay, let's see the full definition on this. Okay, blood bond. A mystically enforced relationship between a vampire and another, mortal or kindred. Drinking the blood of a vampire directly from the vein 3 times creates an intense loyalty in the drinker, resembling infatuation or obsession. The bond loses its grip with time, but is reinforced by repeated drinks from the donor vampire. Oh, this is unexpected, because I know that in some versions, like, thralls are like somebody a vampire... Oh, wait, so, yeah, I know that, the siring is like, they drink your blood and make you drink their blood, so I guess they just make someone else drink their blood and then it has properties or something. Okay. What has Sophie seen in you? Why does the prince keep asking me about your actions? How come you're being pushed to build your own coterie so fast? You are surrounded by unclear motivations which you yourself don't understand. That unnerves me, and it should unnerve you as well. I mean, I've only been a vampire for like a week, bro. This whole thing is unnerving. Like, this specifically, do you know how much I'm dealing with in such a short period of time? Why are you here, and what are your motivations? You unnerve me. Yeah, what are your motivations, bro? Finally, you manage to raise your voice. Kadir notices the effort and smiles softly. So you haven't gone mute since the last time I saw you. Good. Well, I'm here for a selfish reason. I need to develop a rapport with you to better fulfill my obligations. The last time we met, I couldn't see you as my equal. Now that you've been accepted into the Camarilla, what choice do I have? I'd understand if you didn't want to see my face again, but I'm one of the faces of the New York City community, and as long as you're a part of it, it's going to be impossible to avoid me. Especially when I have business with you, and I do. As you might have guessed by now, one of my tasks is uncovering and understanding your bonds, and one of them might endanger our community. Okay, who's the problem? Well, that's not menacing at all. Who's he talking about? Um, uh, hmm. Oh, maybe this is about Tamika because, like, I finished stuff in her story, so I'm gonna say yes. You mean someone I'm trying to recruit to my coterie? Kadir shakes his head. I'm monitoring them and they know it. If they're breaking the rules, they're doing it the right way, meaning I haven't learned about it yet. Unless you might want to share something. A moment of awkward silence, joking, mostly. He produces a file from underneath his coat and passes it to you. This is our troublemaker. You open the file and see some printed photos. You freeze up as you recognize the face and are overwhelmed by a flood of repressed memories. Okay, some business looking dude. Benjamin Newman. Is that a Seinfeld reference? The asshole who made the last. Oh, it's your freaking boss! Do we get to kill this guy? The asshole who made the last few years of your life a living hell. The sexual harassment, the mobbing, the way he kept delegating all of his obligations to you without ever letting you reap the fruits of your labor, the way he stole your soul. Yo, oh, goddamn. Yes! Can we kill this guy? Can we kill this guy, please? Can we torture him first, too? Yes. You look up at Kadir, expecting answers. Apparently, your company is in trouble. Lots of financial... Of course they're in trouble. I haven't been there for a whole week. And clearly, our girl boss was the one keeping the company running because they were making her do all the work. And now that she's gone, they are being hit with a heavy dose of karma. So, good for them. Let their company collapse. Okay, lots of financial irregularities, and Mr. Newman is all too happy to testify that the one employee who's just suddenly disappeared is to blame. Oh, now they want to use her as a scapegoat? It's bullshit. The story is as fishy as it gets, but your disappearance is being investigated, and a lot of people are searching for you. It attracts attention to us, and as such, it must be stopped. Yes, let's please go kill my boss. Must be stopped sounds threatening. You dread thinking what he's planning. I'll arrange for you two to meet tomorrow so that you can straighten the situation out and say goodbye to the life you've forsaken. I'm gonna kill this guy. If I can, or at least drink from him or do something. He'll arrange for what? Your eyes must look like saucers right now. Usually these matters are left to my discretion, and I can't think of an easier solution. The lost sheep reappears, takes care of unfinished business, and disappears, never to be seen again. Nobody cares. It's simple, it's clean, no contrived schemes, no unnecessary victims. Yet maybe I can also ask him who that piece of crap investor was that turned me into a vampire. Like, maybe he knows this dude's name. And then maybe we can find and kill that guy. And it gives me an opportunity to learn more about you as I observe. When neonates interact with, again, I can't say this word. Humans they used to hold dear, their true natures are laid bare for everyone to see. Okay, is neonate like, okay, embraced but more than a fledgling? How is a fledgling younger than a neonate? Neonate means new baby, right? That means like brand new baby. A fledgling is like a bird that's leaving the nest. So that's not like a bird that's just hatched, which would be like the equivalent of a neonate. Okay, but okay, this is your vocabulary and your rules. Doesn't make sense, but I'll just go with it. Of course, he's invested in being kind to you, or he's making clear his self-serving intentions so that you don't start figuring them out yourself. Any objections? Any alternatives are probably worse. You shake your head. Very well, I'll arrange a meeting and drive you there tomorrow. Better come up with a load of bull that's easy to swallow. He disappears from the apartment, leaving you as confused as the last time he closed the door on you. God damn it, you need to think it through. I know exactly what to say. Yeah, I'm just tired of working here. Mental health snapped, and yeah, I'm just walking away, and I'm done. Yeah, okay. For a long time, you just sit in your haven, lost in your thoughts, thinking about how revenge is a dish best served cold. Okay, so let's see. All right, so it's now halfway through the nighttime, and we gotta pick somebody else to see. Okay, that reporter thing is done, or at least it's done for now. Um, do we want to continue our investigative work, or man, I should take up that invitation to go to that church because I want to see vampires going into a church. All right. You haven't been to a church since you became a vampire, or kindred, as the euphemism goes. You've had to focus on concrete, practical things like survival and feeding. You've learned the essentials of the vampire experience, but you don't really have a clear idea of what it all means. The Cathedral of St. John the Divine is a New York landmark. You've been inside once before when you were much younger. You marveled at its Gothic facade. Looking at it now from across the street, it feels ominous. Why does it feel ominous? Sophie told you that only if the person wielding the holy symbols is very pure of heart would it have any effect on you. And, I mean, that's not most people. The prospect of an anonymous invitation to a secret meeting is a worrying one, but the venue is well chosen. It's hard to imagine a violent attack in a place like this with eyes everywhere. You enter the cathedral discreetly. You've quickly learned this is an essential skill for a vampire, how to move without anyone noticing you. The full force of the cathedral's architecture hits you as you walk between the pews. If the architect meant to create the feeling of being small in the face of God's glory, mission accomplished. Based on the note, you're assuming that whoever you're meeting is somewhere in front. As you step closer to the high altar, it feels as if something is dragging at your feet, as if the stone beneath you resisted your movement. Religion is a superstition. Vampires are satanic creatures. Does God still listen to you? Um, let's see. I personally kind of want to go with religion as superstition because I mean, like, Sophie said that it was more about being pure of heart than like actually being any sort of religious symbol. Vampires are satanic creatures. I don't know because like they don't need to kill anyone to function. You know, they do little sneaky things here and there, but you know, okay, turning other people without consent, that's really messed up. And I would say, yeah, that is kind of satanic, forcing like immortality and like blood drinking on people. But I mean, with their rules in society, they're not really going around killing people. They're just taking sips here and there. You know, it's kind of weird, but you know, you could have weirdo humans consent to this. Like, I'm sure there would be lines around the block. Okay, does God still listen to you? I think that's what Girl Boss might be asking, possibly. It's been a long time since you prayed. You wonder whether God listens to creatures like you. Fatalistically, you take a step, then another. You're not sure if your God is present in this cathedral, but perhaps it doesn't matter. What you feel is real enough. There's an old man sitting in the front. You see only the back of his head, bowed down in silent prayer. Your footsteps echo on the floor, and he turns to look at you. You can't take your eyes off him. He's tall, dignified, white hair, balding, a few strands escaping to the sides. He's wearing glasses and simple clerical clothing. His eyes are warm and pale, too kind for someone like you. Something is wrong. You feel heavy, as if a giant hand was pressing you down. The skin on your face is burning. Well, maybe we shouldn't have gone into the church. Okay, perhaps unconsciously you expected something like this as a vampire walking into a cathedral, only it's not the building or God making you feel like you're burning alive. It's the man, the priest. Okay, I guess this priest is pure of heart and not the kind that diddles children. Okay, welcome, my child. The priest's tone is kind, but the rising panic inside is telling you that kindness is not for the likes of you. Yeah, I'm also wondering why a priest is just sitting in the cathedral at like 3 a.m. Oh, maybe he's doing one of those weird prayer cycles. Like, I forget if it's called the novena or something. I know they do have some Catholic prayers where, like, you pray, like, yeah, the novena is like you pray like 9 times a day, and they have a couple other ones, and these weird prayer rules, they require you to, like, wake up in the middle of the night and pray at weird times. Okay. Yeah, I remember they taught us about that in Catholic school, but yeah, they just told us it exists. They didn't tell us exactly how it works. Run, confront the priest. You can tough it out. You know what? I don't like this. I'm gonna run. I also haven't eaten recently. The man is looking straight into your soul. You turn and run the way you came, stumbling out of the cathedral. You emerge outside, confused and scared. What was that? At least you escaped unharmed. You stand on the sidewalk, confused and scared. No enemies seem to be attacking you. The priest didn't follow you. The night air is wet with the smells of the city, the same as every night. How did it feel? Oh, you were the weirdo who sent the... Okay. You look at the man speaking to you. He's well dressed, if a little archaic, dark-haired, handsome, like a character from an old movie. He smiles as if he knows something you don't. You glance around. There are people on the street. You don't appear to be in immediate danger. Yeah, who the fuck are you? Did you do this to me? What? Yeah, who the fuck are you? Please calm down. I'm not your enemy. I don't know if I would call this guy handsome either. Well-dressed. I don't know, man. He looks kind of hipsterish to me. He got the fedora, you know, he got a cigarette. This looks a little bit like a Reddit atheist, except a bit skinnier. Let me introduce myself. My name is Benoit Segal. We share many things in common, even if you don't know me. Benoit offers his hand to you. Dude, I don't know this dude yet. No, I'm refusing. I'm not shaking this dude's hand. What if he has holy water on his hands or something? Benoit's brows rise in surprise as he returns his hand to his side. Would you mind sitting with me for a moment? Yeah, let's talk a little bit more. Okay, Benoit points to a park bench nearby. In darkness because of a broken streetlight. Wary, you decide to follow him. Only an enemy totally unconcerned with the masquerade would attack you here. Benoit sits down and you follow suit. For a moment, you both contemplate the cathedral in silence. I know how it feels, what you just felt. I have experienced it myself many times. For a moment, you consider how to respond. It's clear Benoit sent the invitation to come here and orchestrated this little setup. Why did you invite me? Did you try to get me killed? I feel like... Yeah, why did you invite me? I'm not inciting violence right now. What's the point? Did you go to the trouble of getting me here? Yeah, why did you go to the trouble of getting me here? We share a connection, you and I. I'll explain it later, but right now, the important thing is that it's so much easier to show than to tell. I wanted you to meet Father Anthony, or see him, experience him. Did you wonder why it felt like that? Yeah, no, it was the dude. At first I thought it was because I was in a church, but then I realized it came from him, the priest. I think you're right, it does come from him. It's his faith that makes you feel like that. He's safe in his belief while you are one of the damned. Do you ever wonder what's the role of a vampire in God's creation? You stop to think. Of course you've wondered what this is all about, whether it's about God or nature. You don't really know what being a vampire means. That's the trouble with the masquerade. A human faced with the human problem can go online and find something that helps. You can't. Why don't they have vampire dark web? Like, the dark web is a thing now. Okay. The masquerade means everything there is to know about your condition in secret, hidden away. You're left relying on the unreliable opinions of people like Benoit. Suddenly, Benoit takes your hand and presses it against his chest. As he stares into your eyes, you feel his heart stop. My heart no longer beats, yet I move, I talk. Is that how God intended us to be? Man, this is some existential emo boy. I shouldn't have done this route. Okay. There's a natural explanation. No, can't be. Let me go. Yeah, whoa, I don't believe in the supernatural. There's a natural explanation for all of this. We just don't know it. Maybe there is. I don't know either, but I know that Father Anthony's faith is real. Sometimes I'm skeptical too, but in Father Anthony's presence, I know faith is real. I know it because it hurts so much, but perhaps you have questions about faith and are kind. Yes, what are we? How do you know any of these stories are true? Perhaps we are divine, not damned. Yeah, how do you know any of these stories are true? I don't, how could I know? This is what faith is. You have to believe something. Good, evil, right and wrong, love and hate. I believe we are damned. I also believe that there is always hope, grace. Father Anthony's faith shows me the way. Catholic vampire? So bizarre. Okay. I mean, like, okay, if you're a vampire and you want to have a religion, fine. Why would you choose, like, Catholicism? There's so many rules. Like, if you like Christianity, there's other Christian groups with like less rules. I don't know. I'm not a fan of a lot of rules. Okay. It's so easy for us to lose ourselves in a morass of occult speculation. Some of our kind revere Cain, others Lilith. Oh, okay, so he's talking about their oh, maybe he's a worshiper of other vampires. They didn't tell us about Lilith yet. Let's see. Many in the Camarilla place their faith in the invisible guidance of... Okay, let's see how to say this. Methuselahs? Yeah, okay, Methuselahs, who are supposed to watch over us. Yet I wonder how much that really matters when compared to the character of a good man. Did I come here just to talk about religion? This is a lot to take in. These are just crazy vampire stories. Let's see the definition on this dude. Okay, a vampire who has existed for a millennium or more, an elder who no longer participates in kindred society. Methuselahs are rumored to hail from the 4th and 5th generations. Okay, so that's just really old ones. Why are they watching over you if they're not participating in society? Okay. Let's see. Did I come here just to talk about religion? Yeah, this is a lot to take in. All these myths, hard to know what to believe. I know it's overwhelming. It was for me when I first met Father Anthony. I know there are others like him whose faith shines like a beacon. Priests, old ladies, children. Anyone can have that conviction inside them. Okay, well, Sophie said it was being pure of heart, not having faith. So are these people just really, really good people? Or are they really just religious? Because, like... You know, there's plenty of, like, old religious ladies. Like, you're mentioning old ladies and children, so, you have to be more specific with your examples. I have to go. This is too much. I have to pray for guidance. Yeah, you know what? I gotta go. I can't concentrate when I know the priest is still inside. Benoit nods patiently. Let's meet again in a few nights here at the cathedral. We can talk more after you've thought it through. You leave Benoit standing in the shadow of the cathedral, contemplating what lies within. It would be easier to ignore his words without the reality of what you experienced. Father Anthony was holy. You know it to be true, but what does that mean? Alright, so I gotta rest now, and then next I think I'm gonna see one of these people, because I'm pretty sure the first encounter with either of these is gonna give me a feeding opportunity, and I didn't eat tonight. And we have to feed our girl boss. Can't have a hangry girl boss. Knock knock. You'd ask who's there, but you don't know if the sheriff of New York City would play along. When you open the door, you see him toying with the car keys he's holding in his hand. Ready to go, fledgling? I thought you said I was a neonate now. Wait, whatever. You don't feel like it, but you give him a nod nevertheless. Excellent. Stay close. He leads you down to the vehicle he's parked nearby. Once again, he takes the wheel, literally and figuratively. You parked nearby. In Rockefeller Center. There's, like, literally police barricades over here, cutting off parking spots. I want to know, like, did you park illegally? Did you double park? Questions. Okay. Everything inside is just the way you remember it, down to the rearview mirror, reflecting the intense stare of your guide. However, the trip itself feels notably different. Why aren't you sitting in the front seat? You're not hostage this time. And nobody else is sitting in the passenger seat. Okay. However, the trip itself feels noticeably different. The last time Kadir drove you around, he was forcibly dragging you away from your old life. This time, he's pulling you back into it. Goddamn Newman. You're getting violent just thinking about him. Let me tell you how it's going to go. As I said, I've arranged a meeting between you and your kin. It's going to take place somewhere you should know very well. I'll watch over you from a safe distance to make sure you adhere to the rules. You should know those very well, but I'll reiterate just so you can't ever say I didn't warn you. Don't do anything that would violate the Masquerade. Don't establish some secret routes of contact. I will know. Do treat it as the last time you two will meet. Well, please. Never want to see this jerk again. Take this chance to wrap everything up. Here's your story. You're fine. You found yourself at a crossroads, decided to radically change your life and move out of the city. The subway is unbearable. The rent is too high. They've heard it all. I mean, yeah, those things are literally all true. The subway, I mean, there's way more crazy people on the subway now than there used to be. Yes, the rent is too high literally everywhere. However, you do not appreciate being accused of a crime you didn't commit, so you're back both to clear your name and strike fear into the heart of the real culprit. Yeah, it's obviously he's the one screwing up the company. I was the one holding it together. By now you should know how to cause fear among the living, right? He smirks at you. Have fun. As long as you don't leave a mess for me to clean up, we should be good. The car makes a sudden turn. I'll leave the finer details to you. Just be so kind and don't make me regret it. You can sense he's going out of his way for you, but doesn't try to force you into gratitude by stating it plainly. If you know, you know. He'll see if you are worthy of his aid. We're here. You take a look around and recognize your destination. He was right. It's a familiar place. It's the office in which you wasted the best years of your life. Okay, man, if this was me in this situation, I'd probably be having traumatic flashbacks. Probably. Newman should be up there. Apparently someone is blackmailing him with documents proving his penchant for embezzlement. The poor guy is stuck in his office and he's probably pretty shaken up. The documents don't exist, but it would be a shame if someone went there, wiped the floor with the man, found proof that he pilfered the funds, and forced him to admit his crimes. He turns off the engine and relaxes comfortably in his seat. You silently leave the car and head straight for Newman's office. The elevator ride up just doesn't seem to end. After what feels like 5 hours, but in reality is closer to 30 seconds, you finally reach your floor. Your ex-boss is sitting in his office just like Kadir said. He looks, how can you put it, as if he just Googled body language of alpha males and attempted to poorly copy the most cartoonish posture in order to intimidate the blackmailer. Out of habit, you take a deep breath as you step inside his office. Girl boss. He immediately relaxes. It's just girl boss, his eyes say, as a sly grin appears beneath them. Forget to ask for a vacation? People were worried, you know. Not to mention, overworked to hell and back, then overwork some more. Someone had to take over your responsibilities. Someone or several people? I feel like she was doing the work of multiple people. And guess what? Just as we started digging into your work, some unexpected financial irregularities started popping up. We'll need to work on a common story to explain those, you see. You know what? Let's put on the correct face for dealing with this guy that we hate. You keep quiet and just stare him down. The poor idiot still thinks he's the predator in the room. Let's see how long it takes for him to realize his mistake. Newman senses that you're different somehow. He attempts to stare back, but fails to withstand your glare. He starts to wonder what's going on, and quickly arrives at a conclusion. Wait a second. So you're the one who sent me that message? Now that's a laugh. No, it wasn't me, bro. He starts approaching you. Sweetheart. Oh, man, he called her sweetheart. Time to die. Okay, if I'm going down, you're going down with me. You think you could convince anyone that you never knew what was going on around here? Fat chance. And even if you did, you know my friends, they'd never let you live it down. He's right in front of you, licking his lips, pondering the best way to display his complete physical superiority. You won't give him the chance. I'm the physically superior one now, bro. Use him like a punching bag, throw him outside the building. No, I'm just gonna scare the shit out of him, because, like, you know, Kadir didn't want to clean up a mess, so I'll have to do that. Before Newman blinks, you're standing in front of him with your arms crossed. After he blinks, your hand is already on his throat. He freezes up. Nice. Very nice. He watches you get in his face and slowly brandish your long, long fangs. A loud, throaty, inhuman growl rings out throughout the office and begins to morph into a violent hiss. For a moment, your ex-boss can't identify the source of the overwhelming sound, or rather, his brain refuses to accept that your relatively small body is capable of generating a noise like this. I hope this guy pisses himself. Like, if he gets so scared that, like, he literally pees or craps himself, that would be great. As he begins to understand and process the unnatural sight of your fangs, he is gradually overpowered by an animalistic fear that shatters his entire worldview. Good. Very good. You were supposed to be a victim. Why are you a threat? Why did reality break? You slowly tighten your grip on his neck, not hard enough to trigger a fight response. but enough to strike deeper fear into his heart. Kneel. Newman complies with your demand, squealing softly, a single tear making its way down the stubble on his cheek. Fuck. You're the bitch now. Obey. I'll do whatever you want, just don't kill me, please. You gather your strength and throw him, slamming him against his desk. Nice. Very nice again. Okay, yeah, he's just being pathetic. I don't need to read out all of his dialogue. A born boardroom predator has met his better in the place he least expected it. You slowly start walking towards him. Stop, I get it. I'll do it. I'll fucking do it. With shaking hands, he scrambles towards a safe on his shelf. He opens it and takes out some documents inside. This is what you want, right? This is what you want. You rip the papers from his hands and browse them. These should be enough to, as Kadir would put it, prove his penchant for embezzlement. I'll clear your fucking name. Tell them somebody else. You twist your heel into his hand. He screams. Oh, this is a very girl boss route, isn't it? Okay. I did it. I'll tell them I did it. Yeah, man, you deserve to go to prison. You better do it. Next time I'll bite into your throat. No, I'm gonna leave in silence. That feels like the most badass thing. Like, don't even say anything. Okay, yeah, not saying anything. You simply turn around and start walking away. You walk into the elevator, press the ground floor button, and wave at Newman as the door starts closing. He mumbles something under his breath and winces in pain. Good. It's gonna be worse in prison, bro. Back to Kadir's car. Once you close the door, he instantly puts his foot on the gas pedal. Walking off the pitch with no regrets, said everything you had to say. I wiped the floor with him and got the documents that should keep him in check. That asshole will be looking over his shoulder constantly for the rest of his life. Kadir smiles deviously. Looks like you can take care of business, as expected. I don't need to tell you to hang on to those documents, but keep in mind that you can use them for more than a security guarantee. We're always looking for more contacts among the big fish. Oh, wait, no, we didn't ask the guy who the stupid investor was that turned me into a vampire. Like, does he know his name? Okay, once you settle in, you can use what you know of Newman to convince the elders he's better off as your ghoul. Okay, let's see what the definition is. Okay, an elder, okay, at least 200 years old. Elders are the most active participants in the Jihad, the secret self-destructive war waged between the ancient undead. Elder vampires tend to manipulate their lesser kin, using them as pawns in a terrible game, the rules of which defy comprehension. Okay, ghoul, a minion created by giving a bit of vampiric, blood to a mortal without draining them of blood first, which would create a vampire instead. I don't want this dude as a ghoul. Like, I would want this jerky boss out of my life and just rotting in prison where he belongs. Like, I'd rather have, I don't know, I don't want him as a ghoul. He's not like attractive to have around anyway. Now that's an enticing thought. You're surprised this, why is that an enticing thought? I know you hate this guy, but why do you still want him around? Put him in jail. The car speeds up to cross an intersection before the light turns red. You give Kadir a good hard look. Why are you not mean to me? Thank you. Good job with setting it all up. Yeah, let's just praise him. You've done a good job setting all of this up. He chuckles, visibly proud. If I couldn't handle something this easy, I wouldn't be holding my position, but... Then he takes on a serious, slightly sorrowful expression. Don't suck up to me, kid. My Mr. Bad Guy is still here, and without a doubt, he will go back to decapitating suckers like you any time now. The car starts slowing down. We're here. You look out the window and see your haven. Take care. I'll see you around. Just pray I don't have to see you too often. You leave the car and start walking to your haven, thinking about Kadir. Can't say you're fond of him, what with the welcome he gave you and all, but after tonight, you can't say you aren't either. You're gonna need some more time to understand him, that's for sure. Okay, so it is now like halfway through the night, and let's see. Okay, I do want to see what's going on with the detective guy and some of these other people, but there were not like feeding opportunities here, so we got the Hikikomori. the neat lady, internet cafe, and we have this dude who does blood magic, which, I mean, that sounds kind of interesting, but, you know, let's go to the internet cafe and see what's up here. Like, do we even have internet cafes? Okay, it's a quiet, moody internet cafe. Half of its space serves as a comfy coffee bar these days, but behind a glass wall, it still has a space dedicated to rows of PCs. From the street, you can notice tired adults in casual clothes typing away absent-mindedly, and some bored kids wasting the late evening hours on colorful online games. Colorful online, that's a weird way to describe it. Just say they have no lives and they're playing League of Legends. It's that easy. If Sophie's intel is to be believed, this is where Hope has set up her haven. One of the waiters is standing outside the building, gazing at the sky with a smartphone in one hand and a vape pen in the other. Okay, we have smartphones. I feel like internet cafe would make more sense if they were telling us this was like in the 90s, but okay. You approach the man and tell him, yeah, I'm looking for Hope. Okay. He releases a soft chuckle. Yeah, you and me both. The man slowly takes a drag from his e-cig, sizing you up and down in silence. After a long, awkward moment, when you're ready to leave him be, he raises his voice again. Come, right this way. He heads back into the cafe, and you follow his lead. When you make your way through the space with computers, no one averts their gaze from the spreadsheets, emails, Facebook profiles, or games of Fortnite. Are they really in an internet cafe playing Fortnite and not, like, League? I feel like League is... Okay, whatever, let's just continue. It's a common sight, one you wouldn't have paid much attention to a few weeks ago, but now it seems so unnervingly quaint. Would they still be spending their time like this if they were immortal? I mean, the girl you're looking for is clearly... The waiter unlocks an unassuming door at the end of the room and lets you inside. You two swiftly make your way through a labyrinth of sterile gray corridors, taking confusing twists and turns. Feels like you're traveling into a different world, crossing one invisible portal after another. Eventually, you reach your destination. Your guide motions you to enter a dark room with a lone source of pale light, a computer screen in the distance beckoning you to come closer. The stack of tissues is pretty funny. The private rooms you can get at internet cafes in Japan, they'll have some of that. But this is more involved than the private room you would get in an internet cafe in Japan. I mean, or like, the little, like the little private high-speed internet rooms and stuff, and the manga cafes. As you do, you hear the door shutting behind your back and a short chuckle echoing behind it. Is this the place? Nothing else to do but sit on a chair in front of the computer. The monitor displays a modern chat application. A cursor is blinking in the user nickname entry field in the middle of the screen, obviously expecting you to input your handle. After brief consideration, you type in your name, a random string of characters, something goofy. Maybe it's your newfound sensibilities going haywire, but this place barely has a noticeable sleazy aura. Might as well go along with it. You input Portal's collector and push the enter button. After a few seconds, the chat window opens and messages start appearing on the screen in quick succession. Hostage executioner. Okay, this is too much for me to read. Okay, maybe this is just going on forever. Oh wait, we can scroll up and read them all. Just to be clear, I don't know. Okay, Cult of Luna, LMAO for sure, no for real. LMAO was meant for Jerry. Okay, this is... yeah, what the hell is this? Like, okay, this is just... Identify yourself within 2 minutes or get banned? Alright then. The chat goes silent, everyone seemingly waiting for you to say something before proceeding. This must be a close-knit group. Better say something before they kick you out. I'm looking for hope. Who are you people? I just say I'm a vampire. It's a chat room. Kindred reporting in. Just here on some Kindred business. An instant stream of responses. Okay, they have no idea, or... This was meant to be a safe channel. How did they... How does your vampire powers work on the internet? The waiter brought me here. I don't want trouble. I'm leaving. I don't know. The waiter brought me here. Okay. They just changed their name to Effie. Yeah, I'm just not reading this out because this is just random. This is too much for me to read out. This is just random internet BS. A split second after you read the message, you feel someone's arms tightening around your neck. The violent return to reality catches you off guard. A jolt of panic rushes through your brain, paralyzing you momentarily. You've come to the wrong chat room. A ridiculous whisper rings out next to your ear, and the grip under your head gets even tighter. You start struggling, but even with your newfound supernatural strength, you're having trouble breaking out. This isn't a normal human you're dealing with. I mean, you're a vampire, obviously. Last words. Sophie sent me here. Good luck, I can't die. Yeah, your chat room sucks. Hey, that's just rude, but I still laughed. The hand holding your chin shifts in its position slightly. Don't struggle, or I will break your windpipe, or my phone, which would end even worse for you. Sounds of a camera shutter and light flashing. Did they just take some selfies with you? Alright, that's enough fun. I'm letting you go. We can have a talk. Don't do anything stupid, Miss Intruder. Pretty please. The mysterious assailant loosens their grip on you and gently pushes you away. You quickly turn to take a good look at them. Let me just finish this. It's a pale blonde woman in her 20s appears to be in her 20s, giving you slightly judgmental looks while rapidly tapping away at her phone screen. First, you notice her outrageous outfit, seemingly thrown together from random thrift store finds. That's the weirdest outfit we've seen in this game. Then you take note of her tattoos, a sprawling tapestry of odd patterns and designs covering every visible part of her body. At first glance, it all seems aimless, but it has a consistent sense of style upon closer inspection. Her eyes focus on you for a second. Gave you a scare, huh? Sorry, that's what you get for entering a lady's haven without her permission. And she's back to her phone. With her relatively small build, it's hard to believe you had trouble overpowering her physically. But then again, nothing is what it seems when it comes to the undead, and even compared to the vampires you've met so far, she comes off as an eccentric, curious presence. She shoots you another glance, noticing you're still cautious of her. Calm yourself, girl. I won't pull anything like this anymore. It was just, it feels stupid as saying it out loud, a vibe check. Okay, vibe check question mark, vibe check ... vibe check question mark. What do these even mean? Okay, what? Yeah, I got a glimpse of your vibe on the internet and in a dangerous situation. I'd say I've got a pretty good idea about who you really are. I'm Hope, by the way. If you're here, you've probably heard of me, so I went ahead and skipped the pleasantries. But come to think of it, I might have skipped too many of those. Yeah, she definitely fits the description you were given by Sophie. Your chat room sucks ass was funny, so there's that. Unless you really meant it, in which case, hey, fuck you. Oh yeah, credit where it's due. You're probably not a boring person online, going by your chosen handle. Believe it or not, among bloodsuckers, that's still rare as hell. Most of them are like clueless baby boomers when it comes to internet stuff. Anyway, don't worry about the chat. It was all a game to us. No hard feelings, okay? I'll introduce you properly later. On the monitor, the chatter continues normally. Your visit is like yesterday's news, no longer relevant to anything. Still, a word of advice. Don't be such a dumbass about security, sending a message saying kindred to some perfect strangers online. People lie and make crap up on the internet all the time. Like, literally all the time. Actually, no, those tattoos, those are kind of funny. Like the little stick figure guys. Oh, and this guy, but I think my character's covering this funny little guy. You want to get offended by the tower for breaching the Masquerade or offered by some Vatican fuckheads when NSA gets a wind of you using their monitored keywords? What? Kindred is a monitor? Okay, stupid. Let's see what this tower is. Oh, okay. Right. Camarilla. If it wasn't for my security measures, fucking hell, it's the 21st century. You should know better than this. But look, if we're gonna talk about you, you should have something to say too. What are you doing here? About time, she asked. Note to self, she really loves the sound of her own voice. Sophie Langley sent me. I'm building a coterie. I need help. Yeah, I'm building a coterie. I'm looking for people to join my coterie. Coterie, been there, done that, not interested. Unless... She takes a closer look at you. Her eyes go wide. Wait. Shit. Are you the new Langley plaything? Langley is indeed my sugar mommy. Word seems to be getting around fast. Of course you are. It was obvious the second Langley got her hands on a new servant, she'd start building a network. Your emissions tell me that could really come in handy when, but Langley, that's a risky game. This kind of ambition attracts too much attention. Piss off. But then again, fucking Kara. Yo, who's Kara? Tell me about this. She seems to be having a spirited argument with herself. Only parts of it is audible. Is it just you, or do her facial expressions and body language change a bit between one sentence and the other? Before you make certain it's not just your eyes playing tricks on you, she focuses half of her attention back on you. The other half, of course, is still obsessed with her smartphone. Listen, I'm not saying I'm not interested in a cooperation, but before I make a decision, I need to make sure you sort of understand me and that I sort of understand you. And since I was planning to put on a show before you came here, I propose a little game. Hope absent-mindedly spins her phone in her hand, considering how to put her thoughts into words. Then she approaches a switch on the wall and flicks it. Neon lights flare up, illuminating the room. You take a look around. The room is certainly unique. It looks like a butcher's room repurposed to be a living space. The modern computer in front of you starkly contrasts the ominous industrial walls. At the back, there's an overwrought bed covered in velvet with meat hooks hanging above it. Who wants that? Okay, I guess. It's like, that's why you're thinking it looks like a butcher's room, because, like, the meat hooks are still there. Okay. On top of the bed sheets, you notice what seems to be pieces of elaborate S&M equipment and a camera. Wait a minute. You want my help? Moderate my cam show. Okay. This is an OnlyFangs girl. Okay, cam show, your eyebrows twitch involuntarily. This definitely is not the kind of request you expected to hear tonight. She notices your confusion. Take it or leave it, buddy. You just became a kindred, but you want to be my partner in crime. Show me you can handle yourself while watching my back in my everyday environment. She's serious. The show starts in 10 minutes. If you think yourself better than this, better walk out the door right now. I won't hold a grudge. I've got better things to do. As if to prove it, she looks at something displayed on her phone and cracks a brief grin. Another reply typed down with absurd speed. Tap, tap, tap. 9 minutes, it's now or never. Show moderator. Risk of violating the Masquerade. Hi. Content warnings. Oh, yes. So, do you take the job? Yeah, why the hell not? Hope brightens up, and her smile looks surprisingly sincere. Excellent. I promise you might find this interesting in more ways than one. Alright, give me a second. Okay, she spends a minute setting up the computer you used before, then urges you to sit down. The explanation of the moderator's functionalities is simple. It boils down to ignoring anyone who doesn't disrupt the chat, banning anyone who does, kicking anyone who's causing minor trouble. 5 minutes later, she's already online, sitting on her bed in a provocative pose. It is a sex show, isn't it? Her voice, previously hushed, rings out with full force. How are you doing tonight, hopefuls? You peek at the chat. We're not worthy, queen. Okay. Okay. I mean, nobody's causing a problem. Yeah, just ignore. You're tempted to try out the kick and ban prompts as soon as possible, but obviously you won't punish someone for a little dirt. Yeah, that's normal Gooner speak. Thank you. Today's show is quite special. Please welcome our new moderator, Pornos Collector. Okay, sorry for sentencing you to death earlier. At least the community here seems to be a bit more welcoming this time. Looks like this place has an established hazing ritual, or maybe they and Hope came up with one specifically for you, who knows. You decide to stay silent. Eventually people stop riffing on you and focus entirely on the star of the show. Alright, let's start this with a bang, shall we? Okay, yeah, nothing. So this is where the strip starts. You raise your head, curious about what kind of performance she's going for. First, she opens her mouth and reveals her retractable fangs in front of the camera. Is this allowed? But okay. Right off the bat, the online audience is treated to a sight of her wholly human set of teeth turning into a monster's maw. The image is both revolting and fascinating. She raises her left wrist for everyone to see and then bites. The fangs immediately turn her arm into a horrifying, gory mess. It's unclear if she used them to slash or bite, but one thing is for sure, no ordinary human could cause such damage. Please tell me you're on the dark web, because this is probably breaking rules. Okay, if an ordinary human suffered such a wound, you'd expect a geyser of blood to appear too, but it doesn't. Hope's technically a corpse, so it's impossible. She flashes a monstrous smile and starts smearing blood all over her hand to maximize the impacts of the violent image, then starts drinking it up. She makes it a point to make the sight as gruesome as possible, looking like a hyena feasting on a corpse. The contrast of her behavior with her look of an Instagram model is stunning. When she's done, she reveals her wrist to the camera for the last time. She starts making theatrical gestures with her right hand as the wound begins to mend. Shortly after the wound is gone, it's like a magician's trick. Her left hand looks like nothing bad ever happened to it. Here's an appetizer, first blood to kick off the show. While you're wondering what the hell is going on, Hope catches a glimpse of your bewildered face and turns into your direction. How is that for an opening? This is not a sex show, you're shooting snuff. Yeah, like... Okay, yeah, I mean... This isn't a sex show. Sex? What are you counting on me getting in naked in front of you or something? Oh, honey, we've just met each other. If you expected a strip show, yeah, sorry to disappoint. This is more like live stream digital art. The erotic subtext is there, of course. You peek at the chat, they're going wild. She did that for free. Okay, weirdos. Alright, but eroticism is not the key here. It's vampirism. It's a new frontier. A living art installation. In the early 90s, the Japanese artists kept producing these videotapes with beautiful women committing gory harakiri. Those are an inspiration. She bares her fangs again in a devious grin. But I've no interest in auto-destruction or turning myself into a victim. This is a celebration of a body I love, not self-inflicted punishment. Okay, whatever you say. The audience came here to marvel at a beautiful vampire and her awe-inspiring powers. Mending wounds is just one of these powers. These people watching can pay to see more. Oh, and don't worry, the only things the audience can see and hear are the things I allow them to. We can talk freely. Just remember to moderate the chat, will you? I risk of violating the Masquerade. What a joke. She's blatantly breaching it in front of anonymous viewers. Still speechless, you turn your attention to the screen. Okay, nothing. Yeah, no problems here. Okay, somebody's successfully sponsored the first goal of the show. Hope smiles, picks up a bag of blood from underneath the bed. It must have been retrieved from a blood bank. She showcases the label to the camera for everyone to see. Okay, everybody's just saying drink up, that's all fine. Hope pours all the contents of the bag into her throat. You have no doubt it's real blood, but wonder why the viewers would be so satisfied with something that's so easy to fake. Because they're horny, and they don't care. Don't worry, it pays well enough. You don't even bother to tell her this is not what you're thinking about, safe to assume she knows. So, what do you know about the Kindred and the internet? Have they told you anything? While she is waiting for someone to sponsor her next vampiric feed, she decides to start a conversation. Yeah, is there a vampire internet? If you find something that looks like vampire internet, stay away. See, some of us used to experiment with our own secure networks. We tried to build our own information hubs, social networks, everything. She's still working the phone in one hand while looking for something under the bed with the other. On how many things can she concentrate at one time exactly? Then one day the NSA got in. It turns out elders never really got the hang of proper security practices, or the sigils they used to smear on their screens didn't exactly work as advertised. That sounds like boomer vampirism. Like just like boomers with the internet. Okay. Then of course all the other three-lettered intelligence agencies in the world got the intel, and a lot of them decided bloodsuckers were the perfect new enemies for our post 9/11 times. Did vampires do 9/11? The Second Inquisition came into being. Ever heard of it? A lot of our kind died just because we were too present online. Right now, the remains of our old networks serve as government honeypots, kept alive to attract fledglings and hunt them down. You post a certain keyword on Twitter or Facebook, you get tagged for investigation. You fit certain patterns, you get tagged for investigation. So there is a certain thrill in becoming an online presence without attracting attention from the authorities. She stretches on the bed. I hope you are still monitoring the chat. Of course not. You're not as good at dividing your attention as she is. You correct your mistake and check the recent messages. I'm gonna kick that guy who called her a hoe. You give the guy a kick, get yourself... Oh, wait, what the heck was his nickname? Let's check what his nickname was. Thirst victim, Jesse Hooker. Hope has crabs and gonorrhea. That's not because of the... Oh, actually, that nickname is kind of rude, too. Oh, he's back with the same handle? Yo, ban him! That kind of nickname only suggests trouble. You get rid of them permanently. Good job. She's keeping close tabs on you. Anyway, yeah. When the Nosferatu admitted to Camarilla that their network got compromised, the elders went batshit insane. Internet communications became strictly forbidden. There were executions. A lot of people who use social media to secretly contact their mortal families and lovers got offed. That goes without saying. But if you weren't careful, even the most innocent web usage could result in being punished with final death. Thanks to user Dick Steele, the next goal has just gotten successfully funded. Okay, she raises her hand, 3 fingers up, 2 fingers up, 1 finger up. The countdown ends and she immediately disappears from the screen like a ghost. You can still see her on the bed, but the live feed indicates there's nobody there. When you deeply focus on the digital image, you swear you can make out some unusual glitching where her silhouette should be, but it could very well be just placebo. You ready for this? 3, 2, 1. A flash of the camera. The instant she reappears on the screen, she takes a selfie, sticking her tongue out in a provocative manner. The chat room explodes in cheers again. She is their vampire queen. You briefly wonder about being glued to the screen. Is this the fantasy everyone is here for? A girl showing off cheap magic tricks while lazily browsing her social media. You realize you are way out of your depth here. Meanwhile, Hope decides to continue her lecture. Those were some wild times, especially in New York. While most of them have no clue about our real nature, a lot of clandestine organizations have classified us as national threats, and since this is where the towers fell, the agencies are very much present around here, looking for easy PR victories. The latest SI raid here was just a few years ago, and it was a big one, stirred up the hornet's nest, something fierce. But although it's 2019... Oh, okay, so it's 2019. I think that was the year that... Oh, we're pre-COVID. NYC is ruled by someone who got embraced before World War fucking II, and the cam as a whole got really spooked and swore off the internet. Of course, they're not dumb and understand that you can't really coexist with modern humans without the internet. It's a gray zone right now, like piracy, technically frowned upon, but let one without sin cast the first stone. What do you mean piracy is a gray zone? I mean, like, it's legal, but you do it because the streaming services are all expensive and they keep raising prices and getting worse. And then canceling the shows that they make that are good, and then removing shows that they had that you liked. Yeah, so piracy is winning. I wouldn't say it's a gray zone. You're not supposed to do it, but everybody does it. But all these vampires don't appear to be on the internet. The SI is a real threat, no joke, but in many senses, the darkest place is right under the candle. You take another look at the screen. How about some bad stuff? A familiar nickname pops up. Masochist-sama. No, they're just gooning. Okay. You're just gonna let this guy shit up the chat? Come on, it's your... What do you mean spam? That guy is just gooning. Alright then. She lets out a dejected sigh and kicks the guy from the room herself. Can't imagine someone she's too satisfied with how you handled the situation. The show... People do that in chats! Okay, oh yeah, fun fact about being a vampire. We can sweat and pee if we just exert ourselves really hard. Some of us can even orgasm. We can even cry, but only tears of blood. So can they also... Number 2. Can they number 2? And I mean, we know they can cry. We saw Tamika cry because, you know, her brother was tragically killed. They didn't say Tamika was crying tears of blood. They just said she was crying. But yeah, big question. If they can sweat and pee, can they also take dumps? Will we find out? Or is that a little bit too nasty for this story? Maybe we'll find out, maybe we won't. Continuing. It's something I always dreamed of doing when I was 14, so romantic, and it drives them crazy. As proof of her words, a scarlet tear starts running down her face. The chat goes wild. This seems to be exactly the kind of thing they've been waiting for. Can you imagine USA assembling a blood-sucking squad that would just cruise by the border and suck blood out of any... Okay, that's, No, yeah, kick that guy. Why are you getting political in here? Okay, yeah, I haven't left because whatever. You try to focus on the chat. A familiar nickname is displayed on the screen. Masochist-sama. Okay, we're banning him. Okay. After you ban him, you're good job handling that guy. Great, if nothing else works out, seems like you fit the job at the very least. In any case, the last goal has just been funded. It's time for the great finale. This is what you've all been waiting for, right? Yes, queen. Okay, her voice has changed. She gets closer to the camera, letting her face fill the frame of the live feed. Her mesmerizing eyes are focused purely on the viewers. You wanted blood, come out into the streets. Claw out your neighbor's throat, slash their veins, and drink up. Why are you inciting violence? Hope's presence becomes absolutely horrifying, and it influences the chat in some incomprehensible way. Everyone starts typing like they're possessed. Liberate yourself from the shackles of ordinary mortality, make them scream, feel the warmth of their entrails. Why, though? I guess just... Okay, none of them can function now. What the hell is she doing to those people? What have you gotten yourself into? This is the schizophrenia they were talking about. Or the mental illness they were talking about with her clan. Transcend your bodies, release the message of hope into the world. She jerks violently for a second and then falls down on the bed like a marionette that just had its strings severed. She exhales loudly a few times, and laughs. When she does, the room goes dark again. Alright, that's enough. Instead of continuing, she does something with her phone, the stream ends, and the chat instantly becomes dead quiet. Let me take over. The atmosphere in the room has completely changed. She's already put herself together and stood up. Now she's walking towards you. Okay, at vulgar, what the fuck just happened? Guess the show's over. Everyone relax and go home. You're already probably watching from home. Okay. Hostage executioner on. I was almost ready. Bro. Okay, I guess that's your thing. Hostage, I swear on my father's grave, one day I will find you and kick the ever-living Why? After every line she delivers, she changes her voice, the way she puts her lips together, and the way she moves. You've caught glimpses of her acting this way, but only now have you started to figure it out. Wait a minute, doesn't mean what the hell just happened, but it's impossible. I'm gonna pretend I know what's going on. Does that mean I'm immortal, I'm bored, I'm separated from most vampires in the city by a generational chasm, and I'm so goddamn lonely. The internet used to be my only friend. Info dump delivery service. Years ago, I started researching Tulpa's collective unconsciousness, all the mumbo jumbo at the intersection of psychology and spirituality, and I decided to experiment. The show was fake. A few years later, I was an Instagram fashionista, a successful erotic model, a vital part of pop culture commentary, a viral shitposter, a cryptocurrency expert. All of my internet selves started signal boosting each other, paving the way for new ones. I became a one-woman empire surrounded by legions of psycho fans. The chat was fake. Some may think of it as a dissociative identity disorder, but that's bullshit. Everyone has online alter egos they buried. I just resurrected them, gave birth to new ones, and let them crossbreed. So they're AI? Her constant trapping... But they didn't have AI in 2019. At least not normally. Okay, her constant tapping at the phone, even during the show, somehow she is capable... Oh, okay, yeah. She is capable of impersonating an entire chat room. I don't even have a self that could dissociate or be mentally ill. I'm a host, a living database. I live because I find it fun to be an information conduit, to process trends and support the ones I deem worthy. There was no Masquerade violation. She was showing off her skills all along. She put you into a world of pure fiction, the same way she was testing you when she attacked you from the back. Damn, she's good at this. But this lady's just weird. I don't want to deal with her. Okay, of course you can just ignore what I'm saying and decide I'm just another deranged Malkavian. Yes! Yes, you are! But hey, annihilation of the self is the only way to survive in the 21st century. If there ever was an era that demanded images of beautiful people transcending beyond humanity and inspiring others to do the same, it's this one. Although for now, because of Masquerade, my audience is quite limited. Speaking of, you want to be the star of my next movie? I don't really want to, but I'm not going to say no. Need some time to mull it over? Sure. No, sorry to disappoint. But yeah, your test is over. Now the question is, do I want to work with you? She puts away her phone for the first time since you've met her and gives you a good hard look. Guess I can give it a shot. Yeah, you're not that dumb, you're not that boring, and you're kind of cute. Why are you the one who's acting more gay? I like all the other girls better so far. Sophie's interesting. I like Tamika better. This one's a little too crazy for me. Don't worry, no more modding jobs. Mods get attached, and that's always bad news. She grabs your arm and starts leading you out of her room. I've put you through enough shit. Next time, I'll let you in on a little job I'm doing. We'll hit the streets, and you'll see why Sophie told you to contact me. She leads you through a labyrinth of gray corridors. It's a different route than the one you made your way through in. The city is so much more than what its elites consider real. Stick with me, and I'll guide you to places Camarilla elders couldn't reach in 100 years. She leads you out of the building into the back alleys. Even if someone else rules these streets, we will rule the information highways. This is the power of hope. She lets out a theatrical laugh and disappears. You don't even notice when she leaves you alone, but you assume everything went as well as it could. A new ally, the power of hope. As you walk off into the night, everything around you feels a little less tangible than it did a few hours ago. I didn't get a feeding opportunity! Girl needs to eat! Girl needs to eat! Okay, let's, Okay, so we need to rest, but yeah, we've been at this a while. I think we will stop for now. I will continue this next time. Everyone, please like and subscribe and leave comments and do those things. Yes, good night, everyone. I will see you in the next installment.